games, I'm like, I don't have time to be tired. At the end of the day, my teammates need me.
I feel like we linked together even more and came out as back-to-back champions.
A'ja Wilson just did something insane. She broke the WNBA rebounding record without even trying. 451 rebounds. That's more than some players get in their whole career. And you know what she said? "I don't hunt rebounds." Ouch. Is this a slap in the face to Angel Reese? Or is Wilson just that good? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
I'm gonna hold you, I feel great. Like, even in fourth quarters, I'm like, I'm good.
A statue, or you're writing a book, or just waking up every morning with a smile on your face, I feel like that's a win in itself.
You know what's crazier? Wilson didn't even know she was close to breaking the record. She was just out there playing her game, grabbing boards like it's no big deal. Meanwhile, other players are sweating bullets trying to pad their stats. So here's the big question. How did Wilson crush this record without even trying? And what does it mean for Reese and the whole WNBA? We're about to break it all down for you. Trust me, you're not gonna believe what we found out about these two rebounding machines. You've heard about Wilson's record, but there's more to this story. What if Reese actually had more rebounds per game? Sounds crazy, right?
First of many, I know we're going to be all-star teams together in the future, Olympic teams together.
Each other better. So this team is just amazing. We build each other up from the summertime.
But here's the kicker. One player's season got cut short, and it changed everything. Let's talk about A'ja Wilson and Angel Reese, two absolute beasts on the boards. These ladies couldn't be more different when it comes to snagging rebounds. Wilson's like a sneaky ninja, quietly racking up boards without anyone noticing. Reese? She's a rebounding machine, hunting down every ball like her life depends on it.
A crazy life, but I enjoy it, and I just maximize it as much as I can.
My teammates take constructive criticism. I get on them, they get on me, and it's all positive, and we know we're just trying to get it.
Now check this out. Wilson's averaging 11.9 rebounds per game. Pretty impressive, right? But wait till you hear about Reese. She's pulling down 13.1 rebounds per game. That's insane. So how the heck did Wilson end up with more total rebounds? Here's where things get wild. Reese was on fire, dominating the boards like nobody's business. But then bam, a wrist injury hits her out of nowhere. Season cut short. Meanwhile, Wilson's just doing her thing, consistently grabbing boards game after game. You might be thinking, okay, but who's the real rebounding queen here? And that's the million-dollar question. Wilson's consistency is off the charts. She's not trying to break records, she's just playing her game. And look what happened. She accidentally smashed the record. But don't count Reese out. Her intensity is something else. When she's on the court, every rebound is hers. She's got that hunger, that drive. If her season hadn't been cut short, who knows what kind of numbers she could have put up. So we've got two players, two totally different approaches, both leading to record-breaking performances.
No matter who we're playing against, and I think we just lost that. We got to get that back, and that's not even an X and O. Skiing across that thing, we going crazy, because, I don't think people understand how important this really is.
Wilson's like, rebounds? I don't even think about them. And Reese is out there treating every missed shot like it's the last piece of pizza at a party. You know what's really mind-blowing? Wilson didn't even realize she was close to breaking the record. She was just out there doing her thing, grabbing boards like it's no big deal. Meanwhile, other players are probably losing sleep trying to pad their stats. This whole situation raises some big questions. Is Wilson's laid-back approach actually the secret to her success? Does Reese's intense focus on rebounds make her more vulnerable to injuries? And what does this mean for the future of rebounding in the WNBA? Think about it. Wilson's breaking records without even trying.
Staley is mind over matter. If it don't mind, it don't matter. So some of these things.
Sometimes you have to go through things to grow through things, and it's not easy, and it doesn't really look pretty all the time.
That's gotta mess with the heads of other players, right? And Reese, despite her injury, still managed to put up jaw-dropping numbers. Imagine if she had a full season. Speaking of full seasons, Wilson's been quietly stacking up rebounds game after game. But get this. She had no idea she was on the verge of breaking a massive record. How does a player accidentally become the best rebounder in WNBA history? It's like she's playing a different game altogether. Picture this.
Even in fourth quarters, I'm like, I'm good. But the biggest thing, and I've learned this from college with coach.
I've always been who I am, and I'm going to be who I am, wherever I am.
A'ja Wilson's on the court against the Seattle Storm, casually snagging 7 rebounds like it's just another day at the office. No big deal, right? Wrong. Those 7 rebounds just catapulted her into the WNBA history books. And the craziest part? She didn't even know it. You'd think a player would be laser focused on a record like this, counting down every rebound. But not Wilson. She's out there playing her game, completely oblivious to the fact that she's rewriting the record books. It's like she's got some kind of basketball sixth sense, grabbing boards without even thinking about it. And her coach, Becky Hammon, she's loving it. Hammon couldn't help but laugh when she realized Wilson had no clue about her approaching record. She even spilled the tea on Wilson's mindset, saying, "No, she didn't know. You can tell." It's like Wilson's operating on pure instinct out there. But here's where it gets really interesting. Hammon shared a story that perfectly captures Wilson's unique approach. There was this game where Wilson only had 2 rebounds until someone reminded her. And what did she do? She went out and grabbed 7 more in just over a minute. It's like she's got a rebounding switch she can flip on and off at will. Now, you might be thinking, isn't this the opposite of what we usually see in sports? Most players are all about the stats, right? They're counting every point, every rebound, trying to pad those numbers. But Wilson? She's just out there playing her game, and the records are falling like dominoes. So what's Wilson's secret?
Whether it's just me being in the moment or shooting a shot, they need me. So
Is this nonchalant attitude actually her superpower? Think about it. While other players are stressing about their stats, Wilson's just flowing with the game. No pressure, no overthinking, just pure basketball instinct. It's like she's unlocked some hidden cheat code in the WNBA. And let's be real, this has got to mess with the heads of other players. Imagine trying your hardest to break a record, and then Wilson comes along and does it without even trying. It's like showing up to a math test without studying and acing it while everyone else is sweating bullets.
It's a long days for these moments. I mean, I've done long 8-hour, 12-hour shoots.
I sleep a lot, honestly. I think that's the biggest thing.
And miss out on text messages.
For sure.
But here's the million-dollar question. Is this approach sustainable? Can Wilson keep breaking records without even realizing it? Or is this some kind of basketball miracle that we'll never see again? One thing's for sure. Wilson's changing the game in more ways than one. She's not just setting records, she's redefining what it means to be a top player in the WNBA. It's not about chasing numbers or padding stats. It's about playing your game and letting the results speak for themselves. Hold up. Wilson's breaking records without even trying, but some players are getting heat for chasing stats. There's a storm brewing in the WNBA, and it's all about how we value players. It's like the whole league is having an identity crisis, and A'ja Wilson's at the center of it. Think about it. We've always been told that rebounds are everything in basketball. The more boards you grab, the better you are, right? Well, Wilson's turning that idea on its head. She's out there snagging rebounds like they're going out of style, but she's not even trying to. It's just happening. Now, here's where things get wild. While Wilson's breaking records without breaking a sweat, other players are getting called out for stat padding. Yeah, you heard that right. Some critics are pointing fingers at players like Angel Reese, saying they're too focused on padding their stats, especially when it comes to rebounds. But wait a second. Isn't that what we've been telling players to do? Go after every rebound like it's the last piece of pizza at a party? Well, apparently not anymore. Wilson's changing the game, and she doesn't even know it. You know what's really mind-blowing? Wilson's success might be reshaping what we think makes a player valuable in the WNBA. It's not just about how many rebounds you can grab anymore.
Back-to-back champs, you already know what it is, Ace. If you ain't 4 shots in, don't come. Stay at the house.
It's about your overall impact on the game. Wilson's out there doing everything. Scoring, defending, and oh yeah, casually breaking rebounding records. This whole situation is messing with everyone's heads. Imagine being a young player in the league. You've been taught your whole life that stats are everything. But now, here comes Wilson, breaking records without even trying. It's like showing up to a math test without studying and getting a perfect score while everyone else is sweating bullets. And get this, Wilson's not just breaking records. She's on track for her 3rd MVP award. Yeah, you heard that right. Third. That would put her in the same league as legends like Cheryl Swoops and Lisa Leslie. And she's doing it all with this whatever attitude about rebounds. It's like she's playing a different game altogether. So, what does this mean for the future of the WNBA? Are we seeing a shift in what makes a player great? It's not just about the numbers anymore. It's about how you impact the game as a whole. Wilson's showing us that true greatness doesn't always look like what we expect. Think about it. Wilson's not out there hunting for rebounds, she's not padding her stats, she's just playing her game, and the records are falling like dominoes. It's like she's unlocked some hidden cheat code in the WNBA. But here's the million-dollar question. Is this approach sustainable? Can Wilson keep breaking records without even realizing it? Or is this some kind of basketball miracle that we'll never see again? One thing's for sure, Wilson's changing the game in more ways than one. She's not just setting records, she's redefining what it means to be a top player in the WNBA. It's not about chasing numbers or padding stats. It's about playing your game and letting the results speak for themselves. And you know what's really crazy? This could be the start of a whole new era in women's basketball. An era where players aren't judged just by their stats, but by their overall impact on the game. Wilson's showing us that sometimes the best way to make history is when you're not even trying. All right, let's break this down. Angel Wilson just shattered the WNBA rebounding record without even trying. Meanwhile, Angel Reese is out there hunting every board like her life depends on it. Two totally different styles, both leading to insane numbers. But here's the real kicker. Wilson's changing the game without even realizing it. She's not just grabbing rebounds, she's redefining what makes a player great in the WNBA. It's not about padding stats anymore. It's about overall impact.
Not being in college anymore, and this is what I kind of look forward to, being able to be a pro and being able to in the future too. So I'm just excited just to be here in this moment.
So, who's the real rebounding queen? The stat hunter or the accidental record breaker? Maybe that's not even the right question. Wilson's showing us that true greatness doesn't always look like what we expect. Sometimes you make history when you're not even trying. And that might just be the biggest game changer of all.